Yo, what's up everybody? It's me, WD Michael, and in today's YouTube video, we're gonna be talking about the upcoming Christmas 7-star Tera Raid battle event featuring Iron Bundle. This is gonna be a really good one and definitely one that I want to add on to my team. So I've got 4 raid builds that I've created to help you in defeating this for this short little 7-star Tera Raid event. So let's hop into the video and check them out. All right, and as always, we want to talk about the actual Pokemon that we might be fighting before we get into these raid builds, because if we don't understand the Pokemon we're fighting, then what is the point here really? So Iron Bundle is going to be one of our Paradox Pokemons from Pokemon Violet, and honestly a little champion. It's been used a lot in VGC, and there's definitely a couple reasons why. It's got a lot of power. It does a lot of damage. It's got the right of moves to do that power in, and also with the changes to snow during this generation, it's got a really nice defensive boost that can actually be boosted even more when in the snow. So for this particular 7-star Tera Raid, because Iron Bundle has such a high defensive stat, I stayed away from physical attacking builds. Iron Bundle is well known to live things that it shouldn't hit, like Urshifu hits and stuff like that, and especially with the possibility of us having snow, physical attacking Pokemon just don't seem to be the best option here. And that's okay, because we have a lot of special attacking Pokemon that we can choose from that can do a ton of damage into this particular Pokemon. So we'll get into those ones here next. But for Iron Bundle, there are definitely some moves that we can kind of be expecting, just because like we know they're their stronger moves. So you've got moves like Blizzard. We're probably going to see Blizzard. Hydro Pump is another really big one. It covers one of its big weaknesses, especially when it's an Ice Tera in the fire typing. We're probably going to see Air Cutter, and the reason why I say Air Cutter is because Air Cutter does a lot of really super effective damage to fighting type Pokemon, which means that it would be also able to cover another one of its weaknesses in Ice typing with the fighting type Pokemon. So there's a pretty good chance we'll end up seeing Air Cutter. Icy Wind, just to lower speed. It's used a lot on the Pokemon. There's a good possibility it could. Some other moves that we might also end up seeing are Aurora Veil. Obviously, if it just drops snow right off the bat, or if it starts in the snow, it could drop Aurora Veil and give itself some screens. So something to think about. We do also have Encore. Encore is definitely one of the moves that can be super annoying in these kind of raid events. So make sure you pay attention to that. It could be there and it could cause some problems if you use the wrong move at the wrong time. It does also get access to Taunt and, like I said, Snowscape. So overall, this Pokemon is definitely, I really don't think like those Iron Hands and stuff like that, all those physical attack Pokemon are going to be great in this one. I would try to steer clear, and I would definitely try to stay more special attacking, because we can definitely do a little bit more damage through that. Now with the actual particular event here, it is going to be a Christmas event, so it is only open from December 22nd until December 24th. So you have a very, very small window in order to capture this Pokemon. It's not like the other 7-star events where we're going to get 2 weekends to do this. You get 2 days. If you miss out on it, then you miss out on it. So that's why I want to make sure I always get all these builds out for you, so you guys can be prepared and hopefully get these when they're out there, and so you don't miss out on these, because there's a lot of really cool Pokemon they've been doing with these, and if you miss them, you miss them. So that is going to be Shiny Lock, which shouldn't be too big of a problem, because you can obviously Shiny Hunt these regularly in the game, and there will be only one catch per save file, because it does have the Mightiest Mark, which is something you'd only get from those 7-star Tera Raids. So a really cool Pokemon. I'm definitely excited about this, but let's hop into some of our raid builds that we have for this. And with the first one, let's kick it off with Frosmoth. Okay, so our first build is going to be a Frosmoth. Now Frosmoth has some has a really nice ability, as well as some pretty cool moves that we can utilize for this 7-star raid, so it should be fairly usable, which is kind of interesting to say, because you usually don't hear Frosmoth being used, but hey, this one, it actually ends up working out. So we're going to be busting out the Ice Scales ability, which will actually half damage from special attacks, which obviously the Iron Bundle has been doing a lot of, so it means we're going to be taking reduced damage. Pair with Light Clay, and we can end up using things like Light Screen, so we can reduce a little bit of damage from the Iron Bundle. Now with the Light Screen slot, we don't know how the raid boss is going to work yet. We don't know if it's going to set up snow, but if it does set up snow, use Aurora Veil. You just get an extra free basically screen for it. But the reason why I put up Light Screen is because we don't know exactly how it's going to work, and Light Screen, I guarantee, is going to be just your best option if it doesn't have snow. So we'll run with Light Screen unless we find out that it does have Snowscape or it drops snow, and then in that case I would run Aurora Veil. You also get access to Quiver Dance, which is going to boost your special defense, your speed, special attack. A great move to have in this particular raid. We're also going to utilize Struggle Bug. Struggle Bug will help you with reducing some of the special attack that the Iron Bundle has, and it won't matter if it's using its shell or not. It will always go through because Struggle Bug does do damage. So yeah, definitely a fantastic little Pokemon here, and should be able to do some pretty solid work into this raid boss. I would be surprised if this one didn't do really well. So yeah, Frosmoth number 1. Let's hop into our second raid build, which is going to be Mew. All right, so for our second build, we're gonna be rocking with Mew, our mythical Pokemon from Kanto. And if you've been playing Pokemon Scarlet for the last couple months or so, you should have a Mew. They did do an entire distribution for Mew for the Mewtwo raid. So for the most part, we should all have a Mew. If you don't, there are other ways to get one, but this is definitely one where we all should generally have this one and be able to build with this one. We're gonna be rocking the Fire Tera, so we can utilize things like Sunny Day, Flamethrower. We've also got Acid Spray to drop the special defense down. We've got Nasty Plot to boost our own damage. Mew is definitely one of those Pokemon where if you've got a good team and you've got maybe some other Pokemon setting up your screens and stuff like that, Mew can definitely be a real powerhouse and do a lot of the special attacking damage that you need to. Sunny Day would be great because you can get rid of the weather if you need to. If you've maybe got a physical attack Pokemon on your team, help out with that. Or just boost the damage from other fire type attacks like Flamethrower and stuff like that. Sunny Day is a great move. Overall, I think Mew is going to be just a top tier DPS in this particular raid. So if you have it, I would highly suggest building with this one. Obviously, we were able to beat up the Mewtwo with this thing. I mean, Mew is a mythical Pokemon, and with it, because it is Mew, it can learn just about every single TM that we would need it to in order to make this raid easy and doable. So Mew is definitely one of those Pokemon that it's really easy to build with, and if it fits the raid like this one, I would definitely do it. So yeah, definitely I think this is probably going to be our best special attacking Pokemon, but right kind of behind it, I think there's another Pokemon that can do really well as a heavy special attacker, and that's going to be Gholdengo. All right, so here we are with our third build, and this is going to be Gholdengo, another one of the really just like heavy special attacking Pokemon that I think is going to do absolutely just really well. Gholdengo is just a really fantastic Pokemon. It does a lot of the stuff that you're going to want it to do as it's like a raid Pokemon. It does it. Yeah, Gholdengo, fantastic. It's got Flash Cannon. It's got Metal Sound, so we can drop to special defense. It's got Steel Beam, so if you really think that you're in a position where you can kind of knock out the Pokemon, or you really just need that extra punch of damage, Steel Beam can be great. It's also got access to Nasty Plot. We could also run things like Make It Rain, but again, Make It Rain drops your special attack, so I feel like if we're boosting our special attack, the best chance or the best route to go is just using a move that's actually going to stay with that special attack. We're not going to lose it again, in order to really just maximize the amount of damage we can do. And with this one, I really like, if you're using Steel Beam, don't use it all the time. It does knock out a big chunk of your HP, so I'd really save that for a time when you've really built up maybe your +6 and you can feel like, you know, you've got the raid boss in a point where you can knock it out. Then use it, but it wouldn't be one of those things where I'd start the raid off by using Steel Beam. It's probably not going to help you out. So yeah, another fantastic Pokemon, another special attacking Pokemon. The Steel typing is going to be really effective into the Iron Bundle, as well as it's not going to really take any super effective damage either. So that's also a huge like thing that we're always looking for, is not taking a bunch of damage, because anytime you die, obviously it takes off time and your chance of defeating the raid boss goes down drastically. So Gholdengo, another fantastic Pokemon. But let's hop into our fourth build, which is going to be kind of our supporting Pokemon, and it's going to be Galarian Slowking. All right, so we've got Galarian Slowking, one of my absolute favorite Pokemon, and Slowking works really well. It's a nice special attacking Pokemon, but it also gets access to a lot of the moves that you would want as like a supportive Pokemon that can also still do a little bit of damage. So we've got the Acid Spray, which is always great in Terra raid events. You've got Sunny Day, which you need to change the weather. You've got Flamethrower to use an get some boosted damage, especially for your Fire Tera. And you also have Calm Mind, which boosts your special attack and special defense. Overall, with the move pool that Slowking gets, it's going to be a fantastic Pokemon. Its ability probably isn't going to help us out a whole lot in this one. At the own tempo, it's probably not going to get used. But again, that's a really minimal thing to worry about, because Slowking is probably going to do pretty legit, and it's really going to be one of those more like supportive special attacking. Like, you really want it to be that that piece of the team that really fits and covers the things that you're missing. So like having Sunny Day, having an acid spray, and overall just also being a Pokemon that can actually do damage. So this is really cool. I think that we've got, with these 4 particular Pokemon, you should have everything that you would need in this raid to have a successful raid, with a change in weather, being able to boost your Pokemon, dropping their special attack, dropping their special defense. Overall, these 4 Pokemon should cover pretty much everything that you would need. So definitely one of those things where we really want to make sure that we get it done this weekend too, because we do only have 2 days. So definitely make sure you get prepared, get those Pokemon built so you can get this raid done with here in this little Christmas window. Yo, thank you all so much for coming out to yet another 7-star Tera raid guide. I absolutely love making these guide videos for these 7-star Tera raids. I love having an entire box dedicated to all these mighty Pokemon that we've caught. I really enjoy figuring out kind of like what Pokemon are going to fit for these raids, because there's always, like, in any one of these raids, the moment it comes out and I see the Tera and the Pokemon, it's like, okay, what Pokemon is gonna fit in this to actually beat this? Because that's really what these are about. If you bring the wrong Pokemon, you're gonna struggle and you're not gonna beat them, and you really got to figure out what fits this kind of puzzle to actually complete it. And that's, I think, probably my favorite part about these. So I really appreciate you all coming out to these YouTube guides that I make. It's always fun talking to my community in my Discord, kind of figuring out what Pokemon will be best, how to build it, and all that kind of stuff. So it's overall, it's a really cool community thing that I get to do with everybody. So if you want to hop in and join in on some of these discussions, make sure you're in my Discord, because I talk about a lot of these events that are coming out in my Discord and stuff like that. And also, if you like these kind of videos from me, you like these guide videos from me, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell so you get notified when I drop more videos just like this one, because I will be covering Pokemon Scarlet and Violet until we get the next video game out. So I'll be around making videos for quite a while. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything that's happening in the game, make sure you drop that sub. And also, if you want to come and hang out with me while I'm live over on Twitch doing these raids, I'll be definitely doing them over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/WDMichael. Drop a follow so you get notified and you come hang out with me, get a little help, and make sure that you actually get these defeated during this little 2-day window, because we are not going to get another opportunity. And I know I definitely don't want to miss out. So definitely hop on over and get that follow in. But again, thank you all so much for hopping in and tuning into this video. I hope these builds help you out. And if there's any builds in particular that you see that maybe were really cool, that helped you out, whatever it ends up being, let me know down in the comments. I love learning as far as a creator, love learning as a builder. So learning other things from what other people have been utilizing, what's been working, really helps me out. And I love reading about it. So drop it in the comments. But again, thank you all so much for coming out to this YouTube video. I hope you have a fantastic time out in the Paldea, the Kitakami, and now the Blueberry Academy. And until next time, trainers, peace out.